Sagittarius, welcome to your monthly Sidereal Astrology forecast for December of 2015. My name is Athen, and this is for Sidereal Astrology, very different from mainstream astrology, which you can find more about down below. All right, Sagittarius, so another very transformative month, at least the first couple weeks, and we have Mars forming up a T-square to Pluto and Uranus. So here there's more transformations, and it's all about emerging from this after these 2 weeks, being much more transformed. And this is specifically involving some very important parts of your charts. It's the axes here involving self, first house, which is where you had Pluto, transforming yourself, transforming your identity, helping you be more non-attached to your goals and things like that over the past many years. Uranus in your fourth house, which has been change in regards to your emotional foundations in life. It could be your body, it could be your home, it could be your family, anything relating to your past or your roots, which is hopefully liberating you, finding more freedom to go with the flow with those areas. And Mars, who's recently, in the bigger picture, gone into your 10th house, which has to do with career and the material, the productive energies of life, anything that has to do with the future. So the key with this is that now Mars does square up to both Pluto and Uranus this month, these first couple weeks, and so there is transformation happening with these areas. So with this motivation, with this drive, with this intention that you have, I think, lately to take care of the future things, the career stuff, the productive things, whatever it is, now comes to a challenge. And the challenge is it's going to be to strip away everything that is just no longer serving you in those areas. That's essentially the role of Pluto. And so the more open you are to change, the more open you are to restructuring, the more open you are to getting deep and figuring out what foundationally needs to be cleared away so that there's more space and, a cleaner energy here involving your 10th house, then you're working very much in tandem with this. And this can be a very constructive transit. And like I said, as a result, we become that much more, there's that much more space in our life and have that much more freedom. So this aspect is going to be exact between the 5th through the 8th, and then between the 9th and the 12th, Mars will be opposing up to Uranus exact. So here it's balancing the career stuff with the domestic or personal life. It'll be very important this second week of the month, as it has been with a lot of these fast movers. But here it's with all this energy in the 10th, balancing that so you can have more freedom in your life when you're freeing yourself from any unhealthy restrictions relating to either of these areas. Now, I do want to caution not going to any extremes, because we're all going to be feeling like breaking free, making some sudden changes for you probably in these areas. Maybe even to do with your self-expression, since Mars rules your 5th, or maybe so you can get some more alone time, more rest. But the key with this is to listen to that. There's something Uranus is telling you through the emotional body. There's something that can be very freeing and very liberating when you are connecting to things emotionally, or people emotionally, or your family, or your past, or your roots, or your home in a healthy way without going to extremes. And so when you do that, then it brings balance out to this 10th house, and vice versa. For those of you who have very much emphasis on the more personal, spiritual aspects of life, it could balance it out, bringing some energy into the 10th house. Okay, so balance here is key. Now, one thing I want to say too about these first couple, weeks of the month is that we still have Saturn squaring up to Neptune. So there is still that uncertainty. Now, it's not nearly as strong as it was in November, because that's when that aspect went exact. But for at least these first 5 days, it is waning. So if you're not sure exactly where things are going, how things are unfolding, especially regarding the spiritual stuff, the behind the scene things, or even in regards to the daily stuff, which is your 12th and your 3rd house, it's going with the flow, taking it slow, taking that patient approach, and building your spirituality, whatever it is that you do for that connection to God, for that connection to all that is, for that alone time. It could be meditation, it could be yoga, it could be other spiritual practices. It could be maybe that you're just having to get very serious about making sure that you do that alone time. So doing that will help the confusion if you're feeling that these first 5 days in particular, and working on your communication, taking that nice and slow, even though we don't know where it's going, and having faith that everything is unfolding as it should in the spiritual side of things, as well as in the daily side of things of that 3rd house, and with your communications. It's a big part of that, and your thinking patterns. So, but that's going to be not nearly as strong as an emphasis as this square. So the big key for this 2 weeks is be open to change, be open to non-attachment, involving self, involving your goals, your drives, your ambitions, involving that career stuff and the home and family stuff. And then you can find this very, very constructive. And again, self-expression is going through its transformation, right? Your passions in life, everything that's close to the heart, be open to change as well. Now, we do get some nice little breaks in between here this first 2 weeks. On the 9th, Mercury goes into Sagittarius, which is quite the nice shift. So this is, your first house. So we're talking about, I think naturally you'll probably feel more communicative, more social perhaps from this 9th onward. Could be good for writing, sharing, communicating, playing games, that kind of lighthearted type of energy in the mix. Okay, now that's, again, going through a transformation, but at the same time, it's a good time to enjoy and to learn more about yourself in that sort of context, and really learn more about yourself in general, since Mercury is about learning. So in the first house, being open to learning about life, I think is a great way of working with this, which for you have that overarching perspective, which is Sagittarius. And then from the 10th to the 11th, we've got Venus trining up to Neptune. So another easygoing couple days here, and the, considering the bigger picture stuff. And this could be with the routine. The routine could be flowing quite nice, the work, in fact, and anything else in the 11th house, which is involving groups or friends, and even to some level the career stuff as well. So it's a nice little break there, and it could even be nice for relationships. So that's going to be from the 10th to the 11th with that aspect. And by the way, I do get more specific. There's a lot of other aspects taking place. So do watch the weekly where I go into more specific details of this. But this is very general for the month. All right. So now on the 11th, we got the new moon. Now the new moon's going to be in your 12th house, which is everything behind the scenes, everything spiritual, all that stuff that maybe you're taking seriously right now at the moment, or it could be. So planting seeds around this, how can you get that spiritual time out? How can you have a better relationship with God? How can you have a better relationship with life in general and with yourself on that deeper spiritual level? So experiment, plant seeds with that. It's a very receptive time around the 11th, especially in the 12th house. So as the month unfolds, they'll become more illuminated. It's just a really good time to kind of reflect and sit on things in a more feeling way, intuitive way. 16th, Venus goes into Libra. So very nice placement for Venus to be in. So very nice for, I think, social energies. This is your 11th house, so group stuff, organizational stuff could be quite enjoyable, could be connecting with friends or enjoying that aspect of life, maybe networking and things like that. And then on the 19th, we've got Mercury then to join up with Pluto in your first house. So here it's all about all the stuff that maybe you're learning this month, and maybe communicating, sharing, exchanging that synergistic energy is transforming, especially around the 19th. So be open to change. Again, it's very much emphasized with what you speak, with what you communicate, things like that. Now, Mercury does rule your 7th house of relationships and your 10th house of career. So those areas are going to transform, not as majorly as Mars, because, Mercury is a much faster moving planet. This happens at least once every year. So, but still around this 19th, be open to change with self, be open to learning more about yourself, be open to learning more about relationships, be open to change with relationships. And like I've been saying, be open to change in the career or big picture stuff, because the key with Pluto is, if we're not open to change, it kind of just happens to us, and then it can feel quite destructive or quite intense. And it can be intense in a good way when we want to really dive deep and make the change. Now, it's not always easy. There's always a lot of deep fears and deep things that come up as a result of it. But the more willing we are to do that, the better. And I feel like non-attachment is key, because that's what happens. When you want change and you're open to it, you're not attached, as a result. So especially with those areas. It could be quite intense, could be quite deep with those relationships as well, I do want to mention. But when it comes from compassion, and it comes from space, and it comes from the heart center, and it could be very, very nice. And then the relationships do transform as a result of this, as well as you and that career stuff. Now, on the 21st, the sun goes into your sign, so happy birthday to you Sagittarians who have your birthday this later part of the month, and who are watching this for your sun sign. This is for your illumination. This is an awareness and a lot of focus, I think, for all of you in regards to your goals, your drives, your ambitions, which although are changing, you can start to gain a lot of energy from that. There's more self-expression, more playfulness, more creativity now this later part of the month once the sun gets out of that 12th house and goes into the first. It's a very good house for the sun to be in. Then we have the full moon on the 25th, which will be Christmas for those of us who celebrate Christmas. And this is now a culminating point for those relationships, all one-on-one connections from over the past couple weeks, but also mostly the past 6 months. Anything new that you've started, relationship-wise, could be new relationships, existing relationships that maybe took a twist or a turn 6 months ago. Now coming to its high point, coming to its awareness point where you can really see that. So there's a lot of energy here, a lot of illumination involving your one-on-one connections. So it's a great, last couple weeks of the month to put energy into that and just really learn more about that particular area. And then on the 25th as well, Uranus does go station direct. So if you've been feeling like things have been on the back burner involving the emotional, the health, the family, the home stuff, all of that starts to move forward with Uranus going station direct on the 25th. All right, Sagittarius, I hope you guys have a great month. Thanks for watching. Do stay tuned for this brief message about this holiday gift reading thing I'm doing between now and the end of December. And I hope you guys have a good one. Take care. All right, so it's that time of the year again for the holidays. I'm running a special this year. Get one reading for yourself for 2016 and gift that exact same reading to a friend or family member for the holidays. So whether it's a live phone or Skype session, whether it's a 1-hour recorded reading or a mini birth chart reading, you get that exact same reading you can gift out. So for more information on that, do click the link directly below. And I hope you guys have a fantastic holiday season. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe because I also do daily and weekly videos. And I'll see you all next time. Take care.